Thank you, Mr. President. We thank force commanders of UNMIL, MONUSCO, and UNICE, General Ngondi, General Santos Cruz, and General Iqbal Asi for their briefings to the Council. The operational and logistical details shared by them today give us a glimpse of the realities on the ground and the challenges faced by peacekeepers. We pay tribute to 111,000 brave men and women in various peacekeeping missions for their dedication and courage, as well as for their professionalism and service. Today, we also remember all military, police, and civilian peacekeepers who have laid down their lives in UN peacekeeping. Safety and security of peacekeepers and strengthened field security coverage are of paramount importance. Safety and security are shared responsibility of this Council, the Secretariat, host countries, troop and police contributing countries, and C-34. For the last 53 years, Pakistan has been one of the largest troop contributors. Pakistan's participation in diverse peacekeeping missions is an affirmation of our abiding faith in the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. Mr. President, the briefings by the three generals today demonstrate that UN-led peacekeeping controls violent conflicts, stabilizes post-conflict fragility, catalyzes internal political processes, and engages in peace building. Peacekeeping has evolved with the changing nature of conflicts. Professionalism in peacekeeping ensures excellence in service delivery, as well as safety and security. In this context, pre-deployment training, including common and standardized training, is vital for all mission components. Different operational imperatives require scenario-based training and exercises during the course of active deployment. Such exercises are supplementary to pre-deployment training. The case for in-mission assessment of pre-deployment training is therefore compelling. In Pakistan, we have developed peacekeeping training modules that form part of the curricula for mandatory courses required in career progression. We are willing to share our training programs and experiences with the Secretariat and the United Nations membership. Mr. President, in the recent past, two momentous decisions have been taken in peacekeeping. One, in DRC, the Security Council has authorized targeted offensive operations in a robust, highly mobile, and versatile manner with the aim of neutralizing armed groups. Two, the use of unarmed, non-offensive, unmanned aerial system has been authorized to support peacekeepers operating under the MONUSCO mandate. Both these arrangements need to be monitored closely to ascertain their effectiveness. Positive and negative feedback, especially from force commanders, will help us with refinement of the mandates and course correction. This will also enable us to address, in inclusive intergovernmental settings, some residual legal, operational, technical, and financial questions. Mr. President, in MONUSCO, we will particularly appreciate if the rules of engagement and concept of operation conform to tasks identified in Security Council Resolution 2098 for framework brigades and force intervention brigade. I request Force Commander MONUSCO to give us feedback about this arrangement and how it is working on the ground. As current chair of the Security Council Working Group on Peacekeeping Operations, we plan to hold a meeting on the use of modern technology in peacekeeping missions next month. Today's briefing by General Santos Cruz has provided useful inputs for our meeting. Mr. President, we support sharing of human and material resources between neighboring missions on a case-by-case basis. In 2010, when the situation in Côte d'Ivoire deteriorated, Pakistani troops from UNMIL proceeded to assist UNICE. Our internal processes for authorizing this movement was completed expeditiously. We did not delay the transfer of Pakistani troops despite serious logistical and operational constraints. Later events proved that reinforcement from UNMIL was critical in the success of UNICE operations during the crises of 2010 and 2011. Building on the insightful comments made by General Iqbal Asi, I make 3 points on the IMC. One, IMC is an ad hoc arrangement to make up for deficits in the wake of a crisis. It is not a long-term solution. Two, the question of operational and administrative control of assets being transferred should be addressed upfront. Each mission has its own dynamics that determine the calculation of the costs of contingent-owned equipment. Moving to a different mission entails change in dynamics, hence warranting application of different financial modalities. And three, IMC is a contingency-based exercise, ideally restricted to infantry units and some enabling assets like helicopters. Caution is therefore necessary in transfer of engineering units and hospitals, which require more permanent measures. I have a question for General Asi. What are the most difficult and, in fact, intractable challenges and difficulties in the area of IMC? Mr. President, I conclude my remarks by reiterating Pakistan's support to United Nations peacekeeping and to the noble cause upheld by the blue helmets all over the world. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Pakistan for his statement.